Good morning to everyone. Those of you who are just joining, go ahead and arrive in your mat in a comfortable seated position. Maybe it requires moving around a little bit in the body before you settle into that stillness. Maybe give a few rolls to the shoulders, rolls to the neck. And then once you arrive, settle the body into stillness. We know it's truly impossible to be still, thank goodness, because the breath moves the body in subtle ways. So just notice how the body accommodates that breath. Where does it make space by expanding, and where does it offer release through contraction? And if you're practicing in a space like mine that has a lot of sounds around you, just sort of fold that into your practice. Let that be part of the experience of being here now. A sound is just a sound. It becomes a noise when it excites us or elicits some kind of reaction out of us. And we don't have to be reactive to the distractions and the sounds around us. We can just appreciate the way that, in my case, they're very much signs of nature and life. Maybe you're hearing signs of life around your own house as people or pets are skittering. And when you do notice a distraction, whether it's a thought in your mind, something you see out of the corner of your eye, or a sound, let the attention float back into the way the body moves with the breath. Place one hand just above the navel below the rib cage, and the other hand on your heart. The hand below the heart, above the rib, or below the rib cage rather, that's your Manipura chakra. It's your solar plexus. It is the light that shines within. And that light truly illuminates your being, your power, your willpower, your self-worth. And just take note now of the brightness, the intensity of that light. Is it dim because you've been struggling with some self-esteem issues lately? Or is it blazing hot and bright because you're feeling super confident today? Maybe it's somewhere in between. Let this practice help to illuminate that energy center of passion, start to dissolve any self-limiting or self-damaging thoughts. And the hand over the heart reminds us of holding ourselves in another bright light of love, kindness, and compassion. Letting each word we say to ourselves be filled with tenderness. Each thought we hold be filled with spacious warmth, embrace, support. And just notice, again, as the practice evolves, how are you treating yourself? Take a big breath in. Exhale any of those self-limiting thoughts. Make a dedication to yourself right here that you will be present for yourself during the practice. Present with kind, supportive, loving, patient feelings and thoughts. Let that energy be absorbed in the entire body with each successive breath. We'll take 3 together. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Big breath in. Full breath out. Beautiful way to start the practice. Open the eyes. Let the arms rise up. Interlace the fingers, pressing the palms up to the sky. Draw the biceps past the ears as the heart presses forward. So see if you can slide the shoulder blades a little bit down away from the ears as you draw those shoulder blades together. And look up if it's comfortable. And if you look up, try to draw the chin up a little bit. Stretch through the front of the neck. One more big breath. And as you exhale, bring the hands to interlace behind the back. Stretch the fists away from the back as you squeeze the shoulder blades together once again. Feeling a nice opening across the chest. Keep lifting the crown of the head nice and tall. And then bring those fists over to your right waist or your hip area and drop your right shoulder down to the right ear. And once you do that, dip your left shoulder down just a little bit. Try to send the ear to the shoulder rather than lifting the shoulder to the ear. One more big breath. We're going to come back up to center. Reach those fists back behind you once again. And bring them over to your left side as you release the left ear to the left shoulder. And once you do that, drop the right shoulder just a little bit. Breathing into all the sensations you're welcoming into the body. And come on back to center. Release the bind of the arms, lift them up to the sky. And as you exhale, crescent over to your right side. Inhale, float back through center. Exhale, over to your left. Inhale, up center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. This time, inhale, center. Crescent back over to the right side. And then take that left palm and try to stack it over the back of the right hand. Yes. Feel that twist. Look over your right shoulder. Sink both sit bones down. So if that left hip is lifted, then slide the hands a little closer to your body. Big breath in, lift on the inhale, twist on the exhale. One more breath. And then on the next inhale, we're going to cartwheel those hands over to the left. Find that crescent shape first, and then twist, bringing the right palm to stack on top of the left. One more big breath. Beautiful. Come right back up. Find your table position. Bring those hands to the earth, stacking the shoulders upon the wrists. Fingers are spread, hips over the knees. And then take some cat and cow shapes, flowing with your breath. Adding anything that feels good in your body right now. So you don't just have to move in this linear plane, which is your cat and cow. You can maybe swish the hips to the right and swoosh the hips to the left. I got a whole lot of cows in view this week down in Southwest Virginia. I was watching them, studying. They have this herd mentality, and they like all congregate under the trees in the shade when it's hot. It's so cool. They're really beautiful creatures. If you've ever looked one in the eye, they've got these little pretty faces. 2 more breaths, just exploring what the body needs right now. And then from here, we're going to flex the feet, send the toes down to the earth, lift the hips, lift the knees a little bit so you're hovering, and then press your chest all the way back towards your thighs. Start to feel those thighs warming up a little bit. Feel the shoulders warming up. Keep sliding the shoulders down and back. And then lift the hips, straighten the legs, downward facing dog. And just shift the weight from palm to palm, foot to foot, just creating a little disturbance in the balance. And then come right to that space where you feel solid and stable, rooted through all 4 points. Maybe start to release the heels a little bit more. Lift the sit bones to the sky a little more. Feel the upper thighs drawing in and rotating toward the back. Take a big breath in. Let the breath go. Beautiful. Take a really slow walk, feet to hands, up to the top of the mat. Really slow. So you're like, oh, hey, you leg muscles. I feel you. And once you arrive in a forward fold, ragdoll it, hands to elbows, letting gravity weigh you super heavily, just releasing that heaviness from the shoulders and the neck, the face. Invite softness into the legs to make it a little bit more accessible. And then release the hands down. Slowly start to rise up. Feel each vertebra as it engages, stacking upon the one before it. Lift all the way up to the sky. Exhale, just as slowly come all the way down. Nice. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, feel free to bend the knees before you straighten them. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. And fold once again. Last one. Breathe, 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 breathe. Exhale, let everything go. Halfway lift, flat back. And fold. Start to bend the knees just a little bit. We're going to take a little twist here, a little funky twist with a bind. So take your left hand underneath your left thigh, and your right hand is going to wrap around the back. Just doing a little teaser here. See if you can mate those fingers together. See if you can mate those fingers together. Bend the knees as much as you want, and take a gentle twist to the right. Look up over the right shoulder. So again, that left arm went through the legs, under the left hamstring. Rotate the thumb up toward your sit bone and reach that right arm around, looking for a bind. And if you're not making the bind, it's totally cool. If you have a towel or something, you can use that towel or strap, excuse me, to make the bind. But we're looking here for just a little stretch into the hips, a little burn into the thighs, and just a nice little spinal twist. And a teaser for something coming later. All right, one more big breath. And let that all go. Come back into your ragdoll. Just sway a little bit. Flutter the lips, because I betcha you were clenching your jaw there. Maybe forgetting to breathe intentionally. Thinking, what in the world is she doing? Southwest Virginia got into her brain. She's acting crazy. All right, here we go. We're going to bend the knees just a little bit. Take that on the other side. So right arm through the legs. Reach it underneath your right hamstring. Turn the thumb so it faces that right sit bone, and left arm comes around, and just notice you're using proprioception. You're using your body's intuitive wisdom to know where all the body parts are relative to one another. So you don't see those hands connecting, but you can think about it and feel it. And I'm getting a kick out of watching you guys do it. I love it. Remember that you can always use a towel or a strap. And once you make that connection, lengthen the spine and twist a little bit to the left. Yes, wring it out. One more big breath. Beautiful. And release. You guys are amazing. Heel toe those feet a little closer together. If they were separated, mine were a little separated. We're going to rise all the way up. Exhale, float back down. Halfway lift to a flat back. Plant the hand, step just the left foot back, drop the knee, untuck the toes, sweep up, find your low lunge. From here, we're going to bring the left arm underneath the right arm, coming into an eagle bind. So as you inhale, sink down a little bit more, lift the elbows, lift the sternum. There's a lot going on here as you're twisting your body up. So breathe into it. One more breath. And then very gently start to reach the fingertips forward, maintaining that eagle bind. We're going to make it even more awkward and bring the elbows outside of that right knee, looking for yet another twist. So this twist, it helps in the thoracic spine, but it really intensifies the shoulder stretch you're getting from this eagle bind. So feel that connection. Look over the right shoulder. Take another big breath. Beautiful. Start to unwind. Lift the arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands frame the right foot. Lift your left knee and then peel the right arm up for a lunge. Lunge with a twist. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keep pressing actively into that left heel. Really feel the space you're creating in the hip. And then bring the right hand down. Step the left to meet the right. Forward fold. Rise up. Exhale, let it go. Folding back to the earth. Halfway lift, flat back. Other side, hands to the earth. Right foot steps all the way back. Drop the knee, untuck the toe. Sweep up. This is where you just take a moment to check in with your alignment, your positioning. And then this time, right arm weaves under the left. So crossing at the elbows, keep weaving the hands around. Maybe the palms find one another. And then sink a little deeper. Maybe walk the left foot forward just a little bit. Yes. Open the heart. Trust the rooting here. One more breath. And then start to bend forward, reaching the fingertips forward, and take that awkward twist to the left. Nice. Breathe into those shoulders right here. Let the gaze float over the left shoulder. That's how the energy grows to deepen the stretch. Beautiful. Slowly start to unwind. Arms up to the sky. Exhale, frame the foot, lift the right knee. Establish that strong foundation, and then peel the left arm up for your twist. Remember that you lengthen the spine first, and you twist second. Big breath in. Full breath out. And then release the left hand down. Right foot steps forward, forward fold. We're getting ready to move a little faster here. Rise up, lift up. Exhale, bow down. Halfway lift, nice flat back. The hands plant, step both feet back to your high plank. Decide whether you want to keep the knees up or lower them. Take note of the elbows, right? The pointy part is going to point back. The eye of the elbow points forward, and then bend the elbows, lowering yourself down to the earth. Untuck the toes, inhale, heart rises, cobra. Exhale, melt the heart back down. 2 more. Inhale to rise, and still feel where you're rooted. You have to root in order to rise, or else we're just floating aimlessly. Inhale. And exhale. Flip the feet so you're flexing them, driving the toes back into the earth. We're going to press back up to downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Let the breath go. Beautiful. We're going to move through a few modified sun salutations. So just connecting breath and movement in that vinyasa style. So stay present for yourself during the flow. Take it at a pace that feels comfortable for you. On the inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step through, low lunge. Inhale, right arm rises, take your twist. Exhale, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bow down. Halfway lift. Same side, left foot steps back, back to your low lunge. Right foot joins, high plank. Lower and float back up again. Maybe the thighs lift for upward facing dog. Back to downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Left leg high on the inhale. Exhale, guide the left foot between the thumbs. Inhale, left arm rises, twist. Exhale, back to center, step forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, let it go. Halfway lift. Right foot steps back, back to that deep lunge. Left foot joins, high plank. Lower down. Rise back up, confidence, courage, passion, and love. Back to downward facing dog. We'll do that once more on each side. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right foot steps through. Inhale, right arm rises, twist. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left foot back, low lunge. Right foot joins, high plank. Maybe you go right to down dog. Maybe you flow. Take your breath. Your breath is your guide. From downward facing dog, inhale, left heel high. Exhale, step through. Inhale, twist. Exhale, step to the front. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, melt all the way back down. Halfway. Plant the hands, right foot back. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Left foot joins, high plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, heart lifts back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. You're all warmed up. The breath is reaching every single cell of your body. Take a big breath in. Let the breath go. Beautiful. On the inhale, right leg high. Right foot steps through. Establish that foundation. Sweep up, finding your high crescent lunge. High crescent lunge. Returning to that eagle bind. So left arm underneath the right arm. Squeezing those elbows and lifting them. Create some space. Feel the upper back rounding. Take another big breath. And then we're going to come right into eagle leg. So left leg is going to come up and over, wrapping the right. Try to keep the hips low toward the heels, sinking them back. Keep that Manipura energy right in the belly. Keep it fired up, engaged, blazing. I am powerful. I am worthy. I'm confident. Squeeze, 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. We're going to unwind the arms. We're going to make our transition into warrior 2. So just notice what you're doing as you uncross that left leg, open up the hips, and very slowly, like slow-mo, step that left foot back, coming into your warrior 2. Yeah. You're really present for yourself. You're thinking about what the body is doing as you are doing it. Let's dance a little bit here. So you have your warrior 2 feet, your hips are open. Inhale, flip the right palm up and over. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, flippity flip. Exhale, We're going to do one more like that. So opening up the side body like we did before. Inhale. Beautiful. Exhale. We're going to come back into warrior two now. Interlace the hands behind your back and bring those fists back over to your right waist, just above the hip. Yeah. Try not to rotate in the hips at all. We're just bringing the arms around. So another shoulder stretch. Start to dip your right ear to your right shoulder and loosen the left shoulder. And then very slowly bring your right elbow down toward the right knee. Boom. 3/4 bind. How about that? So notice if that left shoulder is pointing down to the earth. You want to peel it back so it's pointing towards your left ear. Stacking left shoulder over right shoulder. Take another breath. And then slowly start to release. We're going to rise back up to warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, cartwheel to frame the right foot. Step back and take a flow. High to low. Scoop that heart up. Back to downward facing dog. You guys are wonderful. Breathe. Let it go. Let's take it on the other side. Inhale, left heel high. Exhale, left foot through. Grounding, stabilizing, and then rising, lifting. Right arm now will cross under the left. Hands find one another. Somehow, either the backs of the hands or the palms. Lifting the elbows, pressing them away. Breathe. Start to lift the sternum. Invite a little back bend here. Stay powerful in that back right leg. And then we find our eagle, full eagle. So the left leg stays a little bit bent and buoyant. And the right leg comes up and wraps around. Looking for that squeeze of energy between the thighs. Invite the hip stabilizers to fire up the glutes, the inner thigh. Breathe deeply here into your power. I am powerful. I am worthy. I am confident. And then slowly start to unwind the leg, or the arms. Lift that right leg again, like slow motion. Step it back, finding your warrior two. And then we flow, my friends. Inhale, lift the left palm, reverse the warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Nothing changes in the legs. We're moving laterally through the spine here. Inhale. And all the muscles that support the spine are getting strengthening and stretching here. One more. Big breath in. Full breath out. Come back into warrior two. Ooh, because that thigh, man, is burning. Interlace hands behind your back. Bring those fists over to your left waist. Dip the left ear to the left shoulder. Drop the right shoulder a little bit. And then slowly descend the left elbow toward the left knee. Keep opening up through the rib cage. Excuse me. Woo! Spin the right rib cage back, open and back. So you're not collapsing anywhere, you're lengthening. Beautiful, one more breath. And release the bind. Come on back up to warrior two. Inhale, reverse that warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands, step back, take your flow. Make sure it feels just right for you right now. Breathe, sip water. Take another big breath. All right, here comes some fun, people. Look to the front of the mat. Hop those feet so they land outside of the pinkies. Right in your Malasana squat. All right, now Malasana, some people love it. Some people are not big fans of it. Know that there are a few things you can do. One is widen your stance. If your feet aren't flat on the ground, walk your feet up apart from each other just a little bit more. If that's still not working for you, you can take a high chair squat, right? You'll feel the burn there, and that works because that'll still get us where we're going. If you'd rather feel more grounded, if this feels safer for you and safer in your body and in your mind, you can come down on the ground and take a Baddha Konasana. All right, so we're going to get funky here. We're going to start to make our way into a bird of paradise. And again, I want you just to notice if the sound becomes noise. Let it stay a sound. Try not to be reactive to it. Just step by step, breaking it down, breathing along the way, trusting in that inner power that you hold, that we're cultivating to become a little bit brighter today. So we're going to start with the left arm. Left arm is going to come underneath the left leg. The right arm is going to come around the back, looking for some partnership with that left hand. I'm going to bring my towel. If you used a towel before or a strap before, you'll probably need it again. So have it handy. So just make the bind and then see if you can lift the chest a little bit and twist a little bit, right? So those are the mechanics of beginning this shape. So just lifting the spine and twisting a little bit. We're trying not to collapse just for the sake of making the bind. And then start to lift the hips, straightening the legs just a little bit. We're not straightening them all the way, just a little bit. Start to heel toe the left foot. Nope, not the left foot. Heel toe the right foot to the center of the mat. That's really an important step. If you forget that step, it's going to be hard to lift. So heel toe the right foot to the center of the mat while you have this wonderfully awkward bind going on. And then slowly start to press in. Trust your power and lift up with that bind. Yes, I see you. Maybe you start to straighten that leg, if the hamstring allows you to. But more than that, just try to lift the crown of the head over the tailbone. Yes. And keep trying, right? Keep trying. And then, oh yeah, breathe. Don't forget that. 2 more breaths. And then this is the hardest part, but the part that requires your attention the most. Instead of just letting gravity take that foot back down to the earth, you're going to go down as slowly and deliberately as you did coming up. So just do it in reverse. Very slowly. And then once the foot is planted, heel toe the right foot back out to the right. Release the bind. Come back into your squat. My little handy towel here not only helps me bind, it removes the sweatiness from my brow. All right, and just come back to grounding. Come back to that hip opening and to the breath. Releasing judgments. Notice if any of that self-talk started to creep in while you were doing that. Hopefully it was filled with, you got this, girl. Come on. I know you can do this. Have some fun. And let's try it on the other side. So right arm now through the legs, underneath the right thigh, or right hamstring. Left arm around the back. Use what you got to help you. Don't try to be a hero here. Those props are really helpful and can intensify your practice. So there's the bind. Find your little twist, draw that left shoulder back. Start to lift the sit bones up just a little bit. Heel toe right. I'm sorry, gosh, I'm getting all confused. Heel toe left foot to the center of the mat. You've got that bind. Confidently, courageously use that core and the glute strength to rise. Got those hip stabilizers in, all fired up. And you can stay there with that little twist if you want. Lift up taller. Start to straighten the right leg if you want. Yes. Breathe, you got this. One more big breath. Breathe into your strength. Breathe into your courage. Nice. And then we're coming out of this just as we got into it. Slowly, intentionally, mindfully. That's your bird of paradise. There are lots of ways to get into it. That's just one. Heel to that left foot back out. And release the bind. Come back into your malasana for a moment. And then bring those hands down to the earth. Start to lift the hips up. Heel toe the feet a little bit closer together. Come back into that ragdoll. Notice where in the body you need to send the breath right now. Was anything feeling strained as you went through that flow? Take another breath. Beautiful. We're going to rise all the way up and melt back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step, hop, however you'd like to flow. Go through your flow. We'll meet in our downward facing dog. Nice. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Hover forward, so shifting those shoulders so they stack over the wrists. Inhale, hips back high to the sky, right leg high to the sky, three-legged. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, back up. So igniting the core energy again. Inhale. Stay right here and then shift that right knee over to the left elbow. Extend the right leg, bringing the edge of the foot to the floor, and then peel the left arm up. Fallen triangle here. Squeeze into the hips, lift them away from the earth. One more breath. And then lower the right hip down to the earth. Bring the left hand to the earth. Maybe even put that left hand over the right palm again and twist to the right. Look over the right shoulder. Every in-breath finds more space in the spine. Every out-breath takes you deeper into that rotation. One more breath. From here, we're going to come back up. Just sit up straight. You're going to be sort of facing lengthwise on your mat now. Bend both knees, coming into a pinwheel shape. So your right shin is in front, your left heel to your left hip. We're going to find a pinwheel pigeon here. Hopefully this will excite some sensation in your right hip. But if you want to take a traditional pigeon because you're feeling nothing out of this, that's fine. So lift up nice and tall. Rotate your chest so you're over the fleshy inner thigh here. And start to walk your hands as far from you as you can, melting your chest onto your thigh, melting your forehead to the earth. So the weight of your upper body is what offers some pressure onto the leg and stretch the hip right where we want to stretch it. This is a good time if you have a puppy or a goat or a 3-year-old. Invite them to jump on your back, giving a little assist so there's more pressure and more stretch. Let the jaw soften, let the shoulders just relax. Two more breaths. And start to walk your hands back. We're going to take those palms right to the front of the mat. Extend that left leg back behind you. We're going to send the right leg back up to the sky, three-legged dog. And then, bend your right knee. And if you want, you can keep the hip open or you can find a flipped dog. Coming into that wild thing. When you flip, it's really important that you rotate on the ball of your left foot so your heels are in line and your toe mounds are in line. Otherwise, it offers this like really weird torque on your left knee, and we don't want that. So press down if you are flipped. Press down, lift up, open the heart. One more breath. And then we're going to come back to a downward facing dog. Take a flow if you'd like, inhaling forward to your high plank, exhaling down to your chaturanga, inhaling into your bhujangasana or upward facing dog urdhva, back to downward facing dog. Breathe and let it go. Left side, inhale, left heel high. Exhale, left knee to left elbow, hovering the shoulders over wrists like a plank. Inhale, back up. We're moving slowly and intentionally. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. One more. Big breath. Exhale. Hold. Don't hold your breath. Just hold the shape. And then bring that left knee over to the right elbow. Straighten the left leg. Peel the right arm up. Press away from the earth. You are strong. You are powerful. You are confident. One more breath. Then release your left hip down to the ground. Bring the right hand down or on top of the left palm. Look over your left shoulder. Sometimes people like to close their eyes when they hold shapes. That works as well. Firing up that internal gaze. Finding the space on the inhale to lengthen the spine. Finding a deeper sensation as you rotate on the exhale. Take one more big breath. Come out of that twist, rock onto both sit bones and find your pinwheel shape. So bend your left knee, left foot to your right thigh, right heel to your right sit bone. Sit up nice and tall, and as you exhale, start to fold over the fleshy inner thigh of the left leg. Forehead comes down. If your forehead is hovering, you can make a little stack with your fists, just stacking one upon the other. But try to fully melt. Don't hold yourself up in any way here. We'll stay here for 2 more luscious breaths. And then begin to press back up into your palms, bringing them back to the front of the mat. Extend your right leg, left leg high, three-legged, with the hip open or flipping your dog. If you want to come into the back bend, rotate that right foot for safety. Breathe. And then we come back around to downward facing dog. Take a final vinyasa flow. Inhale forward, lower down. Open the heart. Back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. We're going to inhale forward back to high plank here. and lower all the way down to the earth. Slowly. Core and triceps are fired up. They're ready. All right. Bring your arms by your side, palms down, forehead down. We're going to come into locust pose. Zip the legs up down to the toe mounds. And when you're ready, press into the belly and the hips, lifting legs and arms. Try to drift the shoulders down, creating space in the neck. Can you squeeze a little tighter, lift a little higher, breathe a little deeper? One more big breath. Give it what you got. And slowly surrender back down to the earth. Knees bent. Let the ankles tick-tock. Back and forth, side to side. And we'll come up for one more back bend here. If you'd like to amplify something that you've done already, or just be here on your belly chilling out for a few minutes, you get to choose. There's always a range of options for you. So if you want to take a bow pose, bend the knees, make sure to flex the feet so you're not stressing out your joints, and wrap the hands around the ankles, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and when you're ready, press the heels up to the sky. Chest melts or peels up. Use the breath to rock and roll a little bit on those digestive organs. Wherever you are, we'll be there for 3 more breaths. Make sure the knees are drawn toward one another if you're in a full bow pose. And let it all go. Bringing one cheek down to the mat, feeling the body dissolving into the earth that supports you. Feeling so grateful. Take another breath. And we're going to slowly press into a child's pose, going through cat. Surround the spine, draw the navel up. Feel the back arch as the hips retract back to the heels. Forehead melts to the earth. If you'd like here, you can bring those hands to interlace behind the back and bring the fist over to the right side once again. Just another little stretch into the shoulder. And then bring those fists over to the left. And then let it all go. We're going to press up into a hero's pose for just a moment so that you honor the inner hero, heroine within. One hand on your heart, one hand on solar plexus. Checking out the brightness of that bright yellow light that burns within. Power and strength, confidence and courage. It is lighting your way on the path of authenticity in your life. And if you notice that you are making any choices that feel less than authentic, really decide whether that's the right choice for you to make. Is that the choice that best serves you? Is that the person who best complements you in your life? Two more breaths. And then start to swing those legs out in front of you. We will take a forward fold. So allow the sit bones to connect into the earth. Sit up nice and tall. You can have the knees bent if you want. That helps, or you can put a towel or a pillow or something underneath the knees even. Take a big breath in and exhale. Hinge at the hips, reaching to bind somewhere on the feet or the ankles. You can always cross the wrists and take the opposite edges of the feet for a little bit more intensity. Let the body surrender here. 3 more breaths. And then we're going to lift up, scoot your booty just a little bit forward. Roll all the way down onto the back. Draw the knees in, a nice big hug. Really grateful to yourself for making this time this morning. There were so many things trying to vie for your attention. You let yourself practice today. What a gift. Open up the arms. One last little eagle bind. Cross the right knee over the left. Squeeze everything together. Bring the knees over to the left. The hips will lift, or the right hip lifts, but the shoulders stay connected. I like to use my left hand as a little gentle assist here. Use the next breath to lift those knees back up to center. Uncross them, just kick a little bit. And then we'll get the left knee crossed over the right knee. Hug and squeeze the energy between the thighs. Knees over to the right. And then back to center. One more chance to just thrash around a little bit. Just feels good to release the energy. Just any negativity, just dissolve it away with movement, with breath. And then when you're ready, start to find yourself in your comfortable resting shape, melting down, releasing into the earth, letting it support you wholeheartedly once again. Making yourself comfortable with any blankets, any pillows. I see a really awesome bolster there. Susie treated herself to a nice bolster underneath the knees. You are worth it. Get yourself a bolster. Take a big breath in. Exhale, let everything go. This is a poem called Foundation Stones. Here is my past, what I've been proud of and what I've pushed away. Today I see how each piece was needed, not a single step wasted on the way. Like a stone wall, every rock resting on what came before. No stone can be suspended in midair. Foundation laid by every act and omission, each decision, even those the mind would label a big mistake. The things I thought were sins, these are as necessary as successes, each one resting on the surface of the last, stone upon stone, the fit, particular, complete. The rough and uneven face of these rocks makes surprising, satisfying patterns in the sunlight. Take a breath in. Let a full breath go. Let your next few breaths inspire some movement in the body, awakening from the little rest. Eventually making your way onto your side. And then slowly rising back to a seat where you feel the rooting as well as the uplift, the rising. One hand to your heart, one hand back to your Manipura. Reconnecting these beautiful, powerful energy centers. Committing to self-love, self-empowerment, self-worthiness. Thank you so much for practicing with us today. The power, the confidence, the courage, and the light in me honors the power, the courage, the confidence, and the light that shines in each of you. Namaste. So thank you all very much for coming back and practicing with us today, this warm and balmy Monday. And let me know if you have any questions about the practice. As always, I'll be back on Wednesday, and I look forward to seeing you again. And for